Hey everyone, how are you? It's Aisha Hogan, visionary of IAUSM. I'm so excited to be here today and happy Saturday. I don't know what it's like where you're living, but it's been pouring rain here all day here in Ontario. And with me today, I have an amazing guest. I have Mack Jackson Jr. So, hi, Mack. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you doing?
I am doing amazing. I've been looking forward to this since, all week, since when we put it together. I've actually been looking forward to it for a while now because I'm so glad that you are joining IAUSM.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to
it. It's amazing. And I just wanted to let people know a little bit about you. So it's probably easier if you tell them about you than me tell them about you. But, so let the world know who Mack Jackson Jr. is.
Okay. Hello, folks. And again, thank you for the opportunity to present my brand and my platform to this amazing organization. My name is Mack Jackson Jr. I'm a cybersecurity consultant out of Las Vegas, Nevada. It's my hometown, born and raised here. I've been in consulting now for over 35 years, ever since I was very young, consulting as a programmer and a hacker. And I've done accounting software for major corporations and organizations. And I wanted to bring a sense of awareness and understanding about the world of cybercrimes and how you can protect yourself and your business from this major issue that affects all businesses as well as individuals.
And I can tell you firsthand that he is totally right in that. It's interesting how I met you. First of all, I think it's fascinating what you do, but it's interesting how I met you because we actually got hacked. So IAUSM did get hacked. I guess it was like a month ago now. So
wow, yeah.
Has it been a month? I guess it's been a month.
Mm-hmm.
And we got nailed 4 times in 3 days. Like it was just some kind of crazy thing that was going on. Unfortunately, we don't keep any credit card information on our site because everybody goes to payment and PayPal and Stripe windows. So in that way, they really couldn't get any information like that. But it was 3 days of heck. I'm going to call it. Well, it was hell. It was hell. And I didn't sleep for 3 days. And our tech person at the time, our developer, didn't sleep for 3 days. And I remember we got hit the first time. It was a Wednesday night. And then Thursday morning, we got hit again. So he's worked all night on Wednesday night, got it all cleaned up. And then Thursday morning, we got nailed again. And I remember looking at the ceiling in my house. I was sitting at my desk, where I am right now. And I'm looking at my ceiling going, oh my God, we need some cybersecurity. We need better security. And Tracy Samlow does PR, and she's also part of our council. Right? And Bob Doyle, her man, is one of our teachers. So Tracy calls me and she says, Aisha, I've got this great teacher for you to meet. He's going to be great for IAUSM. And I was like, okay, so I just want to get my mind off of everything that's going on. And I'm like, okay, great. I would love to hear from him. And she goes, he teaches cybersecurity. And I was like, what? What? So I remember, normally I have my interviews with faculty and everything first. And
right.
I know, Mack, you don't know me, but I really need to talk to you right now. So that's kind of how Mack and I met. And he is bringing his course or courses to IAUSM, which I'm so excited about because in this day and age, clearly hacking is a thing. It always was a thing, but I think since we're so online now, what do you think about that?
You're absolutely right. Hacking is a big thing. It's affecting every aspect of the business. Years ago, people didn't think about it. They only thought that it would affect large companies and large businesses. But the quintessential thing to remember here is the mind of a hacker. The hackers are looking for personal identifiable information of individuals that they can connect to different databases that are stolen out in the dark net. So it may be that you may have a cyber incident in your organization where hackers were able to maybe look at your data, but if they're able to steal or compromise data from your system, they will then connect it to other databases within the underground network in order to create a profile analysis of an individual that they've stolen to be used to buy goods or services or just take their identity.
That's insane. You know what I was saying when all this was happening? I said, these guys, these hackers, bots, whoever, women, whoever they are,
Right?
they're so intelligent. They're so intelligent. And in this day and age, if they actually move the beam of their focus a little bit and just did something good with their lives, instead of that instant gratification of, oh, I got in and oh, I did this. And how much pleasure I don't know how much pleasure you can get out of that. How much fulfillment and success do you feel from that? I'm not sure, but they could really make some change in this world. Like they could really do something good.
True. But there's also that group of hackers that are not intelligent. And those are the most dangerous. Because those are the ones who are either disgruntled, want to get back at people. They know just enough to be dangerous. You know that saying, just enough to be dangerous?
Right.
Well, there are those that can understand maybe how to get into a system because they have stumbled upon it. Maybe they've acquired their boss's password unintentionally, and now they've gotten it. Now they're going and they can do some damage. Those are people not intellectually smart where they can do good for society. Those are the ones that we're concerned about. Right.
What kind of cyber crimes are there out there? Like for someone like me who doesn't really know that much about it, I'm not really on TV that much. I'm not I just kind of live in my own little world here. So, what kind of cyber crimes are there out there?
Well, we have to look at it in the aspect of individual versus business, right? The media talks a lot about businesses that have been hit by cyber crimes and organizations having their information stolen. And as an individual, we look back at that and think, wow, that's really unfortunate that this large corporation got their data stolen. How does that affect me? And it affects you as an individual because hackers are looking, like I mentioned earlier, to build a profile, like a jigsaw puzzle, right? And they get little bits and pieces of a cracked glass of an individual personality and personal information, and they put it all together by connecting it again to other underground stolen databases. And it can affect you because these hackers will look to get loans in your name. They can look to get cell phones, utilities in your name. But worse is that they could get fake IDs that now look real because they have all your information there, where they can acquire your identity. And then if they commit a crime, guess who the cops are looking for? Not looking for that person, that fake ID. They're looking for the individual they think who committed this crime. And so that's how it can affect you. And there's certain different levels. So in cyber crimes, there's things like child identity theft. I ask my clients all the time, have you ran a credit report of your child who's 3 months old? And they're like, 3 months old? My kid doesn't have any identity. Well, here in the United States, when a child is born, and maybe they're in Canada too, when a child is born, they're issued basically two pieces of personal identifiable information: a birth certificate and a social security number.
Right.
Bingo. You have now two pieces of identity that you can fraudulently forge these documents to represent someone that's 25. You have a birth certificate and you have a social security number. And from there, they use to commit all kinds of crimes. Now, if happens to a child, this individual child may not know about their identity being compromised until they reach the age of 16 or the age of basically consent, when they were trying to themselves purchase products or services and find that they've already owned cars, homes, loans, and in debt for things
that
they didn't even recognize. I tell the story all the time that I had a client that would contact me and said that they received a phone call from one of the banks here in Vegas and stated that they were trying to find their son, Jason, because Jason's been paying on his car loan for 3 years very well, and they wanted to offer him a better rate because he's made triple payments or something like that, they were saying. And the mother's listening to him. She goes, "Are you kidding me? Unless Jason has a Mercedes stroller, he's only 3 years old." Yeah, it was crazy. So now this child has a great credit rating, and he's only 3 years old. So
I
if they
don't get
go,
it. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't know. My mind just doesn't go there. You know what I mean? I'm not being, I don't want to be judgy, but I just don't get it. Like, it's just why.
well, there's
No.
several different types of memes you can look at, right? One of them that we say in our industry that, and it's been said a lot, and that's the fact that information is the new currency. So if
Right.
you think of that mindset, information, knowledge, information is a new currency. So information, if it's worth money, now you know the reasons why hackers are going after information. Hackers would prefer to steal individual data versus stealing the money from the individual's pocket, because cash, that physical cash, is only looked at once. But if the hacker has your information, they can resell it over and over again and continuously victimize the individual for years down the line, versus just going and pickpocketing their pocket once and taking the cash and walking away.
So what would you say are things that we shouldn't do? Like, I know, like me, I don't have any of my credit card stuff online. I do banking, but that's it. And I don't save any of those passwords. I don't, like, you know what I mean? I change them a lot. But I know some people, like, I used to work for a company where I did controlling, and it was like a private tennis club.
Uh-huh.
And whenever it came to their bills or something, they would go, like, they would just scan their phone and stuff. And I was like, you don't have all that on your phone, do you? And everything was in their phone. Their credit card. Well, you need my credit card number? Oh, wait, I can't remember it. Let me just grab it out of my phone. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yep. Well, let me ask you, since these are some of the things I will be teaching in my class.
Okay.
So this is a little pun. Little promotion. In my class, I'll be teaching some of these techniques. But we take our phones, right? Our phones. Let me ask you this question, and this is a question I ask my students a lot too. We have programs on our laptops and our desktops at work called antivirus software and VPNs, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many of you have the same on your phone? Antivirus software.
Wow, right? I don't have it on my phone.
Aha.
So get it now.
So the first lesson, the first free lesson everybody gets by listening to what's available in my class and in my program.
I would have never thought to get it on my phone.
Exactly. This is what I teach. Now, you never thought of it on your phone. So I use another analogy. How many of you remember the Austin Powers movie that came out a few years ago? Austin Powers, he was the man of mystery.
Yes.
Well, remember, Austin Powers it was another little villain, a little tiny little person.
Oh, yes, Mini-Me. Yes.
Aha, Mini-Me, right? Well, think of your cell phone as the Mini-Me of your computer and your laptop.
Right.
It's nothing more than a smaller version of a computer, but it's as powerful and as needed as your laptop or desktop. Matter of fact, your phones are the next level that hackers are going after, because people don't know about having antivirus software or having protections on their smart device. They assume that their phone company.
I'm writing this down, by the way, for my phone, so I don't forget.
They're assuming that their phone companies would install this and would take responsibility, but no, it's not the phone company, your cell phone company's responsibility. It's individuals. So you should have antivirus software on your smartphone to give you the extra layer of protection. And I'll give you another one. Having a VPN on your phone as well. For example, let's say that you have your smartphone.
Can you say what a VPN is so that people know what that means?
A VPN stands for Virtual Private Network. So, for example, you take your phone with you or your laptop with you. You're in a coffee shop. You're in a coffee shop or your hotel room, and you're like, "Wow, I want to get on the Wi-Fi to get access to the internet." So the hotel or the coffee shop gives you their password, or they offered free Wi-Fi. Well, we take our laptops and our cell phones, we jump on a free Wi-Fi because it's much faster. We don't really want to use our data plans in our phones. Well, what that means is you're getting access to the internet, going through the same access point to the internet as everybody else in that coffee shop. There could be hackers in a coffee shop that can possibly watch and monitor what you're doing. as you're online getting free Wi-Fi access. What a VPN does, it gives you like, here's another good way of saying it. The VPN is like a COVID vaccine.
I was going to say cloak. It's like a cloak.
I was going to say that, but I was thinking nowadays, a COVID vaccine shot, giving you protection against the bad guys, viruses that are trying to attack your machine. That's the policy I'd use. We'll make it up to date today.
I wonder how many people are going to be watching this, because I know that I want to search my phone now for VPN.
Yes, all you need to do is check your iTunes store or your Android store. You'll find VPN software there. There are several there that you could use. But in my class, I go over the why and how and what effects these programs have on using on your laptops and your phones. I talk about stories of clients who actually have used this type of stuff on this type of software on their hardware to protect themselves, and how you can protect yourself as well. Those are some of the things we cover in the class.
Great. And how long is this class? Like I know you have a pretty in-depth class.
Well, we're going to offer a 1-hour course for free on the platform.
Mm-hmm.
And what it will cover a high-level view of the awareness of what you should look forward to in your day-to-day activities when you're looking at or working with that is technology.
Right.
So we'll cover everything from VPNs and virus software. I'll tell you all kinds of stories and instances that have happened, current events that can affect your business as well as individuals. And also, another thing too, people are asking about, well, how do hackers know who you are? They're using social media. For example, LinkedIn. You can go on LinkedIn now and do a search for coaches or search for HR managers, and you'll see a list of all these people who work at companies. Then once you friend them and start to communicate with them, perhaps you'll get one of them that will say, wow, I like this emails you sent me. You're like, yeah, here's a picture of me going to Disneyland or whatever. And they click on a link, and that link could have malware.
Wow, right.
If they're on their phone and they click the link, then they take their phone into work and hook up to their Wi-Fi at work.
Right.
It's like the Trojan horse back in the Renaissance times, right? Where the castle opened up and the king allowed this Trojan horse to come in because he thought it was a gift from his enemy, and turns out to be filled with soldiers inside of it, right?
Right.
Same thing. That same concept is what we use in technology when we say Trojan horse. It's the same thing. That when a malware is being when malware is put on your phone or your device, and you take that device into work, you've gotten past all the network security that your IT team has set up. Then you plug your phone. Of
course, right?
Yes, and then you plug your phone in. Here's a little cable here. You plug your phone in to charge it, to charge your phone to your laptop. And what happens? Malware transfers from your laptop down into your network, getting past the soldiers of your organization, the IT team.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, so basically
that's actually really scary.
Yeah, we talk about those fundamentals. We talk about the fundamentals of how to mitigate these sort of things. And it's, again, mostly about awareness. But you know, the really amazing thing, as you and I are talking like this about how to protect, there are webinars and conference calls like this where hackers are communicating on what to do next to get past this.
Wow.
They're actually doing the opposite. So it's like there's a bizarro world where there are I've seen this in the underground, in the darknet, where there's hackers meet in the darknet and they talk about, okay, what's our next step? How do we attack a certain organization? How do we get their banking information? Well, they're looking at things that we take for granted. And we look at those weaknesses and they exploit them.
That's scary.
It really is. And when I talk about this, a lot of people tell me, wow, Mack, you should write a book for a movie. This sounds like something on CSI. No, it's on MSNBC. It's on Fox News. It happens right now.
It happens all the time.
Yeah, it's not.
What's scary? Like, I have to say, like, when we got hacked, I mean, I guess it was information because there's really nothing else they could have taken. There was nothing else in there we're taking.
Okay, I can give you a couple things. I can tell you a couple things that could possibly be things that hackers could look for. You have a program that has lots of instructors who have personal information, and you have lots of people who are buying things that have personal information. If they can acquire they can acquire information on those people, they could use it to sell to other people. Now, this is where
I think that we're really fortunate in that way because we don't do marketing inside IAUSM, because we don't do that. We don't actually ask for a lot of information about people outside of like name, email.
Correct. But in the scenario, hackers could acquire a list of those particular for students and faculty members, and then sell it to other marketing people. So in other words, the bad guys could try to use their stolen property, if you would, for good by trying to sell this information to other advertisers.
Right. Okay. I see what
or other people like that. So they could use it that way. It's like, wow, how'd you get all those 500 or 1,000 mailing list names? Well, we got it off of the internet. Well, no, they actually was stolen off the internet, right? They'll try to sell to other people. Email addresses, people, we think of our email addresses now almost as close to our hearts, right? I mean, we want to keep them almost private. We don't want to give them to everybody because once we do, we'll get hit with all the spam.
Oh God, tell me, I know.
And that's another way to bring on an attack that hackers could do. You get someone's email address and you bombard their email with thousands and thousands and thousands of emails. Can they be productive anymore? They can't, right? It's hard for them to find out that one customer in that list of 10,000 emails, and that customer says, you never got back with me. Well, I couldn't find you. I have 3,000 emails a day that I'm getting. It's a way that hackers can blow up a system, if you would.
It's they really need to refocus.
Yeah,
refocus and do something good.
They really do, but it's crazy. So in my class, we talk about all those sort of things, and we talk about the types of hackers, right? Everyone from the strange, spooky person that you think that sits with a hoodie on, which is really interesting how they advertise hackers that way, to the really scary ones is that person sitting next to you, that disgruntled employee that works in an organization. That is the most dangerous one, because that person there can really do damage. Or
Right.
the employee that works in your IT department that has keys to the kingdom, that hasn't been properly vetted or put on a contract of compliance where they could be watched.
Right.
If they were to make a move or a change, and especially for small businesses, SMEs, small to mid-sized enterprises, need to be aware of these sort of things and aware to protect themselves, because if these employees were to get out of hand, they can actually take down the company.
That's like, wow. You know what I mean? I don't even have a word for it. I just don't actually have a word for it. So that's your 1 hour course, which is going to be full of lots of juicy information that's going to make people say, yes, for sure.
And I want to change my 1 hour course too. It'll be a changing 1 hour course. In other words, the 1 hour course you have, let's say today, will be totally different 3 months from now.
Oh, because everything changes. New things, new information.
The free course will be changing. We would like to have news events, current events, things that affect individuals today. That's in the media, in the news.
That's amazing. I love that.
Yeah, and answer questions people may have, things like that. We move on with.
Great. And are you going to be bringing in a deeper dive?
A deeper dive, things that you can do, techniques that I have used, techniques that are recommended by state and federal law enforcement agencies, everyone from the FBI to CIA, or some of the resources I have access to that have contributed to my research, and I can disseminate to my customers and to my students on what to do and how to protect themselves.
Wow. Great information. I'm so glad that you're joining us, and after my tech team. But they've actually been building up on our security for sure. But I'm
Excellent.
always at the very end of it, I'm like, Mack has to look at our website before, because this is not happening again.
Yeah, yes, definitely.
That's awesome. So if you were going to give somebody right now a piece of information, I mean, you gave us a lot of information, but if you were going to give someone like a really big tip right now, something that they could implement right now besides getting antivirus on their phone and a VPN, what would you say would be something that everybody should do or not do?
Password security, password maintenance from all their systems. Have password maintenance. Think about your browsers that you use, from Chrome to Foxfire to Internet Explorer. How many websites did you visit where you have a user ID and a password on to get access to the system, right? User ID and a password. You should have a password management system to help you encrypt your user ID and your passwords. And you should change your passwords frequently. That's the advice I'd give. I go more in depth in my course, but that is one of the advice I can give people. Make sure you change your passwords. And
I have a password system, right? So when people need them, and sometimes, because I work with a team as well, so sometimes they do need to get into some of my stuff, but I send them a link rather than a password. But even that, like, I don't put any of my financial stuff like in that. That's here. Like, I won't even put that in there.
Well, in the course too, we talk about the best ways to set up a password to give you extra protection. These are recommendations from the government, from U.S. Homeland Security, that we on how to create a proper password in your system for your systems. So we talk about that as well. But yeah, it's very, very important. That's probably the first fundamental way to protect yourself, is that password. Because once that password is compromised, then everything else can be.
Right. Well, I super look forward to you joining us. And when can we expect you to be in there?
Well, we're hoping to have something set up within January, coming beginning of the year.
Perfect. Yay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Mack. Do you have any questions for me?
I will. Basically, I'll talk to you about that offline, about how the platform's set up, and how, just testing your system, how to upload all my information and get it set up. But it looks very exciting.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much. And I will talk to you soon. And I'm so excited to have you inside IAUSM.
Very welcome. Thank you.
All right. I will talk to you soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.